On 29th May this year, 2025, to end of November 2026, depending on if you take true nodes or mean nodes. Rahu will be entering into the sign of Aquarius, and Ketu will be entering into the sign of Leo, which is the opposite of Aquarius. Now, I've also made the video for 12 moon signs in case you want to see how transits affect you from the moon for this particular transit. Then please watch the video. You'll find that down in the description section. But today's video is most important because today we are going to discuss this from the ascendant. So depending on your ascendant, lagna, and your rising sign, you need to see this because in 2025 especially people are very much interested in external events. So if you want to know which areas you will be getting opportunities at an external level where things could manifest externally, which is very much valued by people, then you need to see this video. But if you want to know how things will impact you at a mental level, how will you see this at an internal level, then you need to watch the moon sign video. So I won't say this is more important or that was more important, but I would say both are important. All right. So if you watch this video, you will know how Rahu Ketu will impact your life at an external level. And if you watch that video, you will know how you will be impacted mentally. And please watch the other video because Rahu and Ketu are nodes of the moon. So they have very strong impact on the moon, which is our mind. So please watch that video also after watching this video. All right. And as usual, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe to Exotic Astrology and click the bell icon for the notifications. And also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you enjoy this content. And yes, God is there with you all the time. Just look to Him and you'll find Him. And for personalized horoscope consultations, you will find my website down in the description section. So here you go. All the best. Take care. So now we go to the first ascendant, which is Aries. So for Aries ascendant, Rahu will transit your 11th house. Woohoo, that's great. And Ketu will be in your 5th house. Now, this is one of the best periods. Aries ascendants, now is the time for you to shine. Well, now you need to check your chart and your dashas. But in general, if your dashas are reasonably good, all right, I'm not saying if they are very good or they're not at all even reasonably good, but if you have reasonably good dashas, especially when it comes to your career or even any other area of life, for example, marriage, childbirth, relationships, this is the best time. Why? Now, when I say relationships, I'm a bit careful. I mean long-term relationships like your marriage. I'm not speaking about love relationships here. But Rahu in the 11th will bring in new opportunities for you when it comes to your job, your career, your profession. There will be expansion in your income will grow, and it will happen through futuristic adventures. Now, futuristic adventures means you could go into AI or something totally different, totally new, totally uh, unexplored. Like it could be anything, depending on your interest and knowledge. And there could be innovative collaborations, and suddenly a lot of network circle could come to you. Suddenly you might feel, oh, your circle has become very big. You are meeting people all the time, people are meeting you all the time, and you are able to mingle with a lot of people, and especially people who are foreigners or from a different language, culture, creed, religion, and your social influence will rise in the region, and you'll also get recognition. Your desires will be fulfilled, and you may enter into digital space, and also you may enter into tech driven communities like tech fest, hacking challenge, and all this. This could be your portfolio now. Ketu will be in your 5th house. This means you will develop kind of detachment from your existing creativity, which means you will now want to explore something new. Like, for example, you are a good cook, so now you may feel you don't want to cook that much anymore. You want to do something else, like, singing, dancing, whatever, something else basically. And you want to let go of control over children or over outcomes, or like for example you are learning something systematically. Now you want detachment. Now you are like, no, I will learn it in my own pace, like you may not like so much of structure and organization. Okay. And now what will happen is you will kind of shift from being uh, this self-centered person. You will shift to a person who values collective freedom, basically, because the 11th house is collective energies. So collectively, what is important? So for example, now how will this manifest in your life? Imagine in your company you are an employee and you think in a particular way. Now you are like, okay, let me renounce this temporarily for the good of the company. Maybe everybody else wants things in a certain way, so let me fall in line. Okay. So it is for a higher good. You are giving up what you believe in. Not that you are giving up completely, but you are just mending your ways. Basically, your goal is the same, but your way is now different. Okay. And now you may feel that you are a bit detached from your lover or your children. So what does this mean? Does this mean it is bad? Well, not necessarily, but it can mean to some extent that you need to spiritualize yourself. Uh, you need to improve your consciousness. So the more you do spiritual practices with your partner or with your children, the more you will feel in sync. And if you feel that you are not in sync, then it means you are thinking from a materialistic perspective. So don't think in terms of matter, think in terms of spirituality. Okay. So Rahu on the external end may make you very extroverted, but Ketu may also make you very introverted sometimes. So essentially, it's a great time to do spiritual practices and also to improve your profession and your external life. All right, Aries, take care. Now we go to Taurus. For Taurus, Rahu will be in your victory house, in your 10th house, and Ketu will be in your 4th house. Now, Rahu in the 10th, fantastic position for name, fame, power, position, authority. So, Taurus, congratulations. Just like Aries, Rahu will be in 11th. For you, Rahu will be in your 10th. And 10th house is where the sun gets directional strength. The sun gets Digbali in the 10th house, right? And why does that matter? Because Rahu wants to eclipse the sun and moon, right? So, therefore, it's very important that you understand how powerful the 10th house is. Okay. So, the 10th house is where the sun is at its peak, at its core, at its most powerful position. So therefore, now it basically means if you have any plans to get a promotion, apply for a promotion, then do it. You want to shift your domain and go to another domain, do it. You want to start your own business on the side, do it. Or you completely want to leave your job and start your own business, well, great, do that. Okay. And now it's a period where you may see that your career has become a bit unconventional, which means weird things are happening. Weird in the sense, like you are, yeah, you are working in cyber security, and suddenly you get a job in AI out of nowhere. It's like very weird, but it's weird in a good way. Like, now you can explore something new. Okay, so career breakthroughs can happen through tech or unconventional fields, and most importantly, your status will rise in public and you will get leadership roles. Now, to what extent this will have, that will depend on your chart and your dashas. That we cannot predict from transits. Okay, not possible. But some opportunity can come for you. That's the prediction. And you may also get job opportunities from abroad or in the digital space, digital marketing, social media, and all this research, AI, space, technology, nano, all these areas can benefit you actually. So, in case you have interests and you want to explore job opportunities, this could be a good time. So, now it's a period for you to completely reinvent your professional identity, like who you are, what do you think of yourself, what do you want to do in this life, in this world, in terms of profession. That is what you should decide now. And Ketu in the fourth house will make you a bit detached from your family. Or Ketu in the fourth can inspire you to learn something new. Why? Because fourth house is knowledge. So when Ketu is in the fourth in transit, you may be forced, or you may be inspired to learn something new. Okay, now is that good or bad? Well, that's not too bad. Either way, it happens. Okay, so you will feel detached now from your existing tradition, your existing knowledge. Fourth house is the Vidya. Okay, and now you may want to explore. See, fourth house is your comfort zone, not in a negative or lazy sense, but it is like the area where you are very comfortable. Now, when Ketu transits the fourth, you kind of don't like your comfort zone, which means now you want to explore, and that is where Rahu in the 10th house comes into play. Okay, so now you may want a bit of minimalism, and you may be like, okay, let me increase my domain, my knowledge, my experience more and more. And maybe if doing that makes my life a bit unstable, that is also fine. Okay, so you will now want to explore aggressively. You may want to travel out of your homeland, and you may want to go to spiritual retreats. And now you may release your attachment towards material comforts. You may like displacement, you may like from traveling to one place to other. Okay, so for you, emotional security will be important, but it will come in a different way. It will not be like just sitting around with people that you like, who are always giving you validation, and that may not be the definition of success for you anymore emotionally. All right, so do what you love, do what you enjoy, and take risks and make it big in your career. All right, Taurus, all the best. Now we go to Gemini. Gemini, Rahu is in your ninth house, Ketu is in your third house. Fantastic placement. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, he's making this video for views. He has to say it's fantastic, right? Well, if you see traditionally, if you read the classics, this is not a good placement, or this is not a good transit. Can be a bit tough on your father and your siblings. But where is it good? See, it's very easy to say, oh, this is good, this is bad, forget it, fine, bye. But you need to understand. If you don't understand where it is bad, then what's the use of knowing astrology? What's the use of knowing what will happen next 18 months, right? No use. If you don't know where it is good, what's the use of knowing? So, Rahu transiting in the ninth house in Aquarius can give you this feeling that you know it all. You don't need to you don't need to you don't need anybody. You are a supreme, like you are I am Hari, I am Narayan, I am Vishnu, I know everything, the end of it all right? There's nothing else that is required, and there's nobody that I need to take advice from, right? So this is problematic. So when you face this, what happens? You become overconfident, and when overconfidence comes, what happens? As the Bible says, right? Pride cometh before the fall. So therefore, if you feel that you know everything, then maybe you need to check. Okay, because the more you know, the more you will realize the less you know. And the less you know, the more you will realize, or the more you will think that you know, the more you know. All right. So therefore, you need to understand that you are not God. And maybe there are people who have better opinions than you. Maybe there are people who have better ideas than you, because ninth house and Aquarius and Rahu is all about ideas. So you may become a bit dogmatic at times, like for example, I'll do this myself, I know how to do it, okay, and nobody dare tell me how to do it. So if you feel that you come in that category, then this can be dangerous, okay? And you may also develop a very rebellious nature. But where is it good? Good in the sense, now if you reduce your ego a bit, you can listen to others. Now you will like to have conversations. Now you will want to talk to others. So externally, you can also get international opportunities for traveling abroad for higher purposes, for higher education. Then you may get new spiritual mentors, mentors who are from a different religion or different sampradaya, different tradition that you are following already. And the philosophies might be a bit unconventional. So you can follow provided they are not contradicting the words of the scriptures. All right. So you may get a desire to learn about legal matters in academics, or you might like to publish, ventures. Okay. And Rahu might also inspire you to get into entrepreneurship, not in the sense like, you build your product, but it's like saying you want to learn about entrepreneurship and then you may try it later. And now Ketu in the third will eventually make you realize that I have to let go of my ego related to communication. I may not know everything. Okay. And you may feel a bit detached from your siblings or from your neighbors or people around you a bit, because now you will become very inward and you will want to know why things are happening, not just what is happening for you. Quality will become more important than quantity. So now you will prefer to have two or three great friends rather than having like 500 friends. Okay. So now you will want to turn inward and find real courage. That's very important. And your speech will become a bit more deep. You'll become a bit serious at times, because you are learning now. You are it's like you are meditative and you are very deep inside. All right. So Gemini ascendant, learn more and take others' opinions and meditate on yours. All right. Take care. Now we go to Cancer. Rahu in the Ashtam Bhav, 8th house, Ketu in the second. Oof. Rahu in the 8th. Is it a good placement? Oh, well, boy. It's great for certain areas, like there could be windfall of inheritance. But again, inheritance comes with its own problems, right? So it is good for going towards occult or tantra, mysticism, astrology, psychology, psychiatry, Reiki, pranic healing, any kind of activity where you have to see things which normally people cannot see. And now you may experience massive transformation. Through transformation, you might undergo healing, which means you could be in a situation where certain things happen in your life and life leaves no other choice to you rather than to mature. Yeah, that could be painful at times. So therefore, if you have if you get transformations, or if you, rather than saying if you get transformations, I would say if you feel like life will transform you by force, then don't worry. I mean, it's okay. Life will transform you sometimes. Okay. And there will be a period where you may feel that I'm all by myself. Or 8th house is like the graveyard. So at times you may feel I'm like in a graveyard. So what happens in a graveyard? Who's there with you? Nobody, except actually nobody. Because you yourself are not there in the graveyard. So what happens? From the graveyard, you leave. You stay for maybe a few moments, and then you leave, right? There's nobody. And if you feel that things are very difficult, then take the name of Narayan. Chant Om Namo Narayana. That will help you. All right. So if you feel that things are becoming very, very, very difficult, then don't worry. Just remember God is there with you always, right? Now, why I am saying this? Why you may feel nobody is there with you? Because Ketu is in the second house. And boy, oh boy, what Ketu does in the second, he makes you detached from your contacts, your family members, your close relations. So, which means now that best friend that you have may not reply. And you will be shocked. What the hell is this? How dare he does this? But yes, as I said, my dear sir, my dear madam, now you may be all by yourself and you may realize that I have to become more powerful. Powerful not externally, but I have to become internally more mature. And I have to completely stop expecting things from others. Otherwise, what happens is people will think that I'm dependent on them. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will invite them to exploit you. So therefore, if you're feeling low, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling depressed, then don't worry. Chant Om Namo Narayanaya. That will help you. Okay. And you may want to release yourself from this, materialistic greed or, family baggage. And you may refine your speech and your values. You may start thinking, oh, my childhood friend was there, now he or she is not there, what will happen, this will happen, my school friend, my college friend, my husband, my wife. All right, so now you may want to stay a bit aloof from your family members, and that's okay, there's nothing wrong in that. But you are not staying aloof because you are pissed off from them, or maybe because you are pissed, but in general it could be like you are staying aloof because you don't understand them, or you feel they don't understand you. Okay. So therefore, inner silence is important. Don't look for external validation. And at the end, use this time to become more spiritual. Use this time to go deep into spirituality. And use this time to elevate your consciousness and learn more about the secrets of the universe. Okay. And this will actually help you become a better person, and this will make you more powerful. All right. So, Cancer Ascendant, don't worry. Please take care. Now we go to Leo, Leo Lagna. What's going on? Rahu will transit your seventh house. Ketu will transit my first house. Oh, am I having an affair with somebody? Oh, my spouse will cheat on me. Oh my God, my marriage is finished. These are things which you might have heard in YouTube. Now, these things could happen provided your dasha agrees. Otherwise, it will not happen. Let me give you an example. If you are having yoga for bad marriage now, in the next 1 to 2 years, 2 years actually, 1.5 years, then there could be problems in your marriage. In terms of, like, there could be a third person who you are entertaining or your spouse entertains. But if your dasha is good and there's no problem in your married life, then how this Rahu will manifest is, you will become a different person now when it comes to marriage. You will think, oh, maybe there's something missing in our marriage. Okay, maybe now what is that which is missing? Well, that your chart will say. But we need to do something new in our marriage. Maybe you can start some business together. Maybe you can start doing some social service together. Maybe you can go and learn something new together. Take up some new hobby. Okay, so that will also help you. So in that context, your marriage will become a bit unconventional. Or now, suppose you are not married, you might develop a desire to get married, but to somebody who is from a different caste, community, religion, tradition. This also could happen. But to whom will you get married? How will that be decided? It will be decided depending on the dashas that you are running now. For example, if you if you are running Jupiter, Moon, Mercury, Venus, then you may be more attracted towards marrying somebody from the same community, same religion. Okay, but if you are running Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, then you might be tempted a bit more. Ki now I want to marry somebody who is totally different, not my religion or somebody like that. Okay. So it depends on your chart basically. Okay. So therefore, depending on the dashas that you are running, it will be decided what will happen in your marriage. Now, why I'm saying this repeatedly again and again, because many of you are going to be worried about what will happen. Oh, Rahu is transited, this astrologer said, that astrologer said, this will happen, that will happen. But you need to understand, it might happen, but only if your dashas agree, okay? And on the contrary, Ketu is in your lagna. So when Ketu is in your lagna, what happens? You realize you need others. And that can inspire you to dissolve your ego and to develop a deeper level of awareness. And why do you need awareness? Because you realize otherwise your life is not very happy. And physical detachment is important. And you will have to spiritually elevate your consciousness now. So now you may have this tendency that, I'm not good enough, I need to look towards others, others have to pamper me, they have to pat on my back, they have to appreciate me. So your desire for seeking validation may increase beyond certain minimalistic levels, okay, or other recommended levels. Mhm. And you may want to reinvent yourself completely, which is great actually. Through inner realization, now you will realize certain things are not going to work anymore. You may feel a bit lost in life. Why do you feel lost? Because now you will realize that I had been doing so many things without any purpose. I've been doing so many things. I did this, I did that, but without any goal, it is like just headless. Everybody is doing, I'm also doing, So these kind of things will perish. All right. So you take a shift from the external world and try to go a bit internal and try to reinvent your relationship with others and especially your spouse. All right. Wish you all the best. Leo Lagna, take care. Now, we go to Virgo. Virgo Lagna. What's going on? This is interesting. Rahu will be in your 6th. Ketu will be in your 12th. This is a great placement. This is what others will tell. Now, don't get me wrong. This can be very good. This can be good for competition, for getting new job opportunities, especially in terms of health or AI or any other service sector in politics. And you may get victory over competitors and you may want to develop a lot of smart strategies. Okay. And you may realize that you need a new routine now, and you may realize that your discipline is a bit off, or you are trying to be overly disciplined. Like, for example, yeah, you're trying to have that, perfect, what do I say, perfect diet. And, you are like trying to count every single damn calorie that's going inside. And then you realize that's not working. It's very frustrating. Okay. So, therefore, you need to understand that perfection will not get you anywhere. You will just be miserable, and you won't be happy no matter how much ever you try. You will be miserable. Okay, so don't try for that. I mean, try, but don't try for ultimate perfection. If you try, you will be very miserable. And now you need to do some innovation in your wellness or in your healing. For example, you have some health problems, so you are taking healing somewhere, whether it's through modern medicine or ancient Ayurveda, homeopathy, whatever. But it's not working. So now you have to shift the gear and you have to see what else can I do. How how can I benefit myself? Okay, very, very, very important. And now Ketu is in the 12th. So now you will release the need for any kind of structure in your life. So this is very weird. Ketu in the 12th, it can take you towards isolation, and it can tell you, I don't want to follow all these, structures and rules, regulations, I want to do something totally different. Okay. So that is where Rahu in the sixth comes into play. And now you may want spiritual healing. You may like healing through dreams or silent meditation. You may want to do more spiritual practices because you may feel, oh my God, I am kind of lost. I don't know what to do in life. I don't know what is wrong with me, what is wrong with my life. I have no idea what's going on in my life. So, externally, things are going on, but internally, you feel that things are not as great as they seem. Okay. So, therefore, if you feel that you are kind of losing your life, or rather, if you feel you are losing control from your life, then you need to understand it may or may not be correct. So if you feel that you are losing control, it may just mean you are a bit overwhelmed. Okay. So if you feel, things are becoming like too heavy, too much competition is there, too many rules, regulations, take some time off. By taking some time off, I don't mean you go and smoke and drink. Okay. But I mean to say, slow things down a bit, like withdraw yourself from the world a bit. Now, this is easier said than done because Rahu is in the sixth, so it is not very easy to withdraw from things, when Rahu is in the sixth. Okay, it's very, very, very difficult. So, therefore, nonetheless, if you have difficult dashas, you may feel that your life is out of balance. And if your dashas are good, you may want to become more spiritual. So you will realize the utility of hidden fears. Like for example, there would be certain fears which can come true in your life, or certain fears may be dispelled. Okay, like, oh, this was worrying me, but it's not important. Okay, so try to go beyond your own life and beyond your own self, and try to go towards service. That will be the best thing for you. All right. So Virgo ascendants, don't worry. Life will treat you the way you treat it. All right. Take care. Now we go to Libra Lagna. Libra Lagna. Rahu in the fifth and Ketu in the 11th. Very interesting and, should I say, scary? Well, it depends on your chart. Can be a bit scary. Now, where does it get interesting and where does it get scary? For you, before I discuss Rahu, it is imperative I discuss Ketu. Why? Because, see, you need to understand the 11th house is fulfillment of desire. And the fifth house is the house which tells you why you get up in the morning. So this essentially means now you will want to look for purpose in life. And Ketu is in the 11th. So you may feel nothing in your life is making sense. You may feel, what the hell is going on? Like, I don't know. I have everything. But still, I feel very miserable. I feel that, everybody is doing better than me. Look, he has a car. Look, she has a nice house. Look, he got married. Look, she got a nice child. Look, they have this. Look, they have that, and I have nothing. So you may get this kind of feeling because 11th house is your own success, and when Ketu transits there, it's like saying you start to feel that you are not successful in life, which means you start feeling like you are a failure in life. Yes, you will start to feel like that. But again, please understand, Rahu Ketu are very strong mental energies. They are nodes of the moon. So how you feel may have no relation with reality. This is important, okay? So you may feel like a loser in life. I don't have this, I don't have that. But maybe in reality you have. So for you, it is important that you express gratitude. Towards whom? Well, towards anybody who gives you a lesson to be grateful, right? For example, your parents, your spouse, your children, your teachers, your gurus, your guides, your counselors, anybody and everybody, okay, who has given you something in life, who has made your life better, who has improved you in some sense, your who has done some charity to you, charity of love, charity of time, charity of charity of intentions, who has given good intentions to you, who has expressed their goodwill towards you. So therefore, if you feel that everything is not making sense to you right now, then don't worry, you are not alone. You may feel this because you are trying to be too obsessed with desires. So now what you should do is you should activate your Ketu in the 11th, which means you should do spiritual practices, go to spiritual communities, 11th houses communities, so Ketu is spirituality. So you should let go of superficial social circles. Oh, hi, hello, how are you? Sally, Mally, doing this, doing that. Just check out all these people. Who are just like your good weather friends. Okay. So you purify your ambitions by detaching yourself from egoistic goals. Okay. So you seek quality over quantity in your friendships. Now your circle will shrink and focus on spiritual growth rather than just materialistic goals. Okay. And Rahu in the fifth will empower you to do all this because he will give you new beginnings in creative fields and would make you interested a bit in the stock market also. There could be growth of, there could be birth of children in your family. And you may want an unconventional partner or a partner who is from a different religion altogether. Or there could be discoveries in healing, like you want to heal yourself. Fifth house is healing, so now you find something else. Okay. And fifth house in general is wisdom, so you want to learn new things, learn different cultures. You want to learn and upgrade yourself. All right, so this is the best thing that you can do. All right, so Libra Lagna, take care. Now we go to Scorpio Lagna. What the hell is going on? Well, not too bad for you. What the hell is he saying? Ketu will transit my 10th and Rahu will transit my 4th. My career is ruined, my mental health is ruined, and this person is saying it's not too bad. Well, yes, I know it can sound a bit daunting at times. Ideally, they say Rahu is great in the 10th and Ketu is good in the 4th, but now it seems it's the opposite for me. Oh, I'm not Taurus Lagna, I'm Scorpio Lagna, right? Ah, see, you need to understand. When Ketu transits the 10th, what happens? What happens? You may feel you have become a bit detached from taking responsibilities in your life. You're a bit detached from, corporate ambition or your social image. You don't care much what people think about you or what people say about you. And you may realize that now you seek a career which is aligned with your dharma and not just, fame. And you may realize that spiritual reflection is the true sense of purpose, which may be missing from your career now. Now, when I say this, does it mean you should become a monk or a spiritual entrepreneur or somebody? No, I'm not saying that. But why are you working? Is it just because of money? Now, again, don't get me wrong, nothing wrong in earning money. But is it just that, or is there something else at all? Is there something? So you need to understand that you need to let go of professional control now. But then the question is, you let go of all this. But what do you do at the end? Well, now you must learn to go inwards. Inwards, but not superficially just sit and meditate. You have to start learning different things, learn new things, which means you have to educate yourself. So educate yourself related to different kind of studies, different kind of skills, different other avenues like real estate, or you may want to upgrade your home. You may want to use smart technologies at your home. You may want to change your home a bit, okay? And you may suddenly develop a lot of interest towards your homeland, and there could be opportunities for relocation, which is also the relocation to your home country basically, okay? So, or if you are in your home country, you may relocate outside. So it is Rahu can bring you to your homeland, or it can bring you out of your homeland also, right? And you may want to upgrade your lifestyle. Suddenly you may become a bit luxury prone now, and you may feel that I have worked enough. Now I need some work life balance. I need to withdraw from the world. Okay. I need to withdraw from what is important. Now, what is important in the sense, what seems to be important, like career, money, power, name, fame, position, and all this. So now then the question is, what do? You do you just sit and do nothing at your house? You just indulge in luxuries? No. You build strong foundation of emotions with your family members, with your relatives, your colleagues. You now you behave at a personal level. Okay, you develop sudden interest in your family heritage, your family lineage, and you want inner healing. Okay, so Rahu in the fourth will tell you that you are not healed, my dear sir, my dear madam. There are traumas within you. You have problems. Okay, so now best thing for you, Scorpio, is to not run behind externals. I know it's easier said than done, but running behind external name, fame, power, position, limelight is not the only thing that you should do. So you can run, but at the same time, you need to understand that I have to be happy internally. I have to be happy as a person. Only then all the other things will matter. All right. So Scorpio, look for internal happiness and don't bother too much about externals. Please take care. Now we go to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, Rahu in the third, Ketu in the ninth. Fantastic position. This is what you will read online. Well, indeed, it's not too wrong if I say this, but you need to understand that it will depend on your chart. So, what are the good things? Rahu transits the third. This means you can learn about interviews, you can learn about different skills, you can take bold new initiatives, you can learn about business, you can learn about startups, you can learn about tech, you can do coding, hackathon, marathon, whatever. Anything which is done very quickly, that could be your portfolio. So you will have the courage to break traditional communication styles, and you will have hands-on learning through short travels and also through experimentation. Experiment, explore. Now, you may use social media as a tool for bold expression. That also could be something which is very important, which means now you may feel that I need to communicate, I need to tell others. And third house is communication. Aquarius is another Aries sign, so it's a karma house. So therefore, you will realize that you may over talk. Okay, you may not let others speak. Okay, now on the difficult side, what could happen is Ketu is transiting in your line, so you may become a bit uh, radical. Radical in the sense, radical with your own thoughts, your own desires, and your own beliefs. You may become a bit radical with your own self. You may become a bit obsessed about your own ideals, okay, which is not very good. And what could happen is you may now stop questioning yourself. You may be like, oh, that's it, whatever I know is perfect. But when you do that, what will happen is you will suffer, because you will do things because everybody is doing it, or you will do things because everybody told you to do that. So there could be death of individuality now. And you may run too much behind, what appears to be charming. You may run too much behind what others want you to do. So therefore, Sagittarius, for you, the most important thing is that you have to stay true to yourself. Otherwise, you will be very miserable. So don't go on increasing your circle with superficial people who are, who are not your well-wishers, who don't want to see you succeed, or other who don't even want to see you happy, forget succeed, who want to see you unhappy and miserable. All the superficial friends could be family members and relatives also. And if something is outdated, it does not work. Outdated does not mean old, but it does not work anymore. Then you have to leave that. Okay. And you should try to seek the company of a spiritual person. I will not necessarily say you need to look for a guru or a spiritual master. You could do that. But in general, anybody who is spiritually elevated, you can take their association, and they can help you. So therefore, if you feel that you you are at a crossroad, which means you feel like my life has become very superficial, then you need to elevate your consciousness spiritually. And along with spiritual progress, you also need faith in yourself. So have faith in yourself, be spiritual, and also pursue materialistic communities, social life, social circles. But at the same time, you have to understand that the goal of material life or spiritual life, the goal of anything in life is to finally benefit myself. All right. So do things in a way that benefits yourself, either internally or externally. Sagittarius, take care. Now we go to Capricorn. Capricorn, what's going on? Ketu is in your 8th, and oops, Rahu is in your 2nd. So this can make you a bit obsessed about money. Woohoo, money is honey, right? So you might now want to create wealth through futuristic means, like, crypto, fintech, AI, deep sea, chat GPT, all this, electric vehicles, networks. And you may have new business ideas popping every other day. There is a new business idea which is coming in. There could be ideas related to food, there could be ideas related to your voice, related to media, or you realize that you want to do something completely different when it comes to your career or your family also, because the second house is the house of career, and it's also the house of family. So when Rahu transits there, it means you want a complete revamp of whoever is there. So this means your your career, your boss, your colleagues, your superiors, your juniors, your equals, you may want to completely revamp them, which essentially means you may want a new company. Okay, that could be one meaning. Or you may shift your domain completely, like, you are in AI and now you go towards something totally different. You become an astrologer. Okay. Or you want to combine different professions. You may look for multiple sources of income if Mercury Dasha is involved. Okay. And you may want to rebrand your family legacy in a modern way now. You may want to change the perception of people, the perception that people have about your family and about you as a person also. because the second house deals with values and value systems. So what kind of values do you have? What kind of a legacy do you have? Okay, that is something which you may be very much inspired to change. And you may want to speak powerfully and in a way that attracts wealth, actually. Very, very, very important. So focus on your speech, Capricorn. And now you may realize that you have to let go of, emotional turbulence from the past. Because now, see, this is in regards to Ketu in the eighth. Ketu in the eighth is a very unique placement. It can help you become spiritual, or it can make you overly materialistic. Generally, they say, eighth house makes you spiritual, but that is only true if you have a strong chart. Otherwise, eighth house will only give you addictions. Okay. So now it is up to you and your strength and your chart to decide what will happen. So if you feel that you are becoming more materialistic, then you are not wrong. That's reality. Okay. Ketu in Ketu in the eighth can make you feel that you are shackled by chains. Okay. You are unable to make any changes that will affect you positively. Now, why that is happening? Because there are traumas, there is turbulence, there's disturbance. So you may feel, the trauma is so big that, I'm getting consumed by it. You may feel like this. But what's the solution? The solution is to do spiritual practices. So chant Om Namo Narayanaya if required. And you have to realize that now you have to do spiritual practices, but most importantly, you have to surrender to God. As Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, right? Sarva dharman partyajya mam ekam sharanam raja. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshaishyami masucha. Masucha, do not fear. And eighth house is the house of fear. So when will you not fear? When you surrender to God, right? It's very easy. So the more you surrender to God, the more you realize that you are transforming yourself. All right. So take care of your fears and make money. Take care. So now we go to Aquarius. Aquarius, Rahu will be in your first house and Ketu will be in your seventh. Ooh, what's going on? Well, now you will completely want to reinvent your personality and your appearance. Okay. You may want to color your hair. You may want to get nice clothing for you. You may want to do something totally bizarre, like, wild and bizarre. You may become, you may love taking risks suddenly. People may tell you, slow down a bit. You are going too fast. And you may completely reinvent your mindset too. And now you may want to become very innovative. You may like to discuss a lot of ideas. And now you may be in a situation where you always want to do something or the other. So there could be hyperactivity. You may face problems in sleeping in the night. In general, I mean, not like, perpetual insomnia. I'm not saying that. But in general, you may realize, oh, my head is going on. And you may develop some level of narcissism, or maybe considerable. Why? Because Rahu in Lagna, Rahu in your head, can give you this feeling that you are all that, you are all in all. Okay, you are like the king, I am the boss, and then what happens when that boss energy meets others? Because for everybody, Rahu is transiting somewhere, and wherever Rahu transits, they feel they are boss in that area of life. So suppose you meet somebody whose Rahu is transiting the 10th, so they think they are the boss in that particular career, and you think you are all-time boss in all areas of life. So then there's a conflict, right? So therefore, you will become very magnetic, and your charm will increase. You will become very unique, and you will love leadership roles. But the danger is you may bully others, you may override others, and Ketu is in the 7th, so you may feel I don't need others. Like, nobody's equal. Get out of my life. You may feel like that. So you may develop this, hyper exaggerated sense of self, and you may start to feel that nobody else is required. I am all that is important. But now what will happen? Once you keep doing that, you will suddenly realize that you are becoming a very irritable person. You will become more and more frustrated because initially you will feel that you don't need anybody. But now what will happen? Gradually you will realize that you just don't need yourself, you need others too. Okay. And then because you dismissed others, you may feel nobody is around with you now anymore. Nobody wants to stay with you. So therefore, just because you don't need somebody now, it does not mean that you have a right to bully them or to tell them that they are not important. Okay. And now you may realize too many fake people are coming towards you. Like, too many members of the opposite sex, too many rich people, too many members from a different religion community. People are they're just loitering around you and your life, and you feel you are like a celebrity. But remember, that's Rahu, that's all fake. So the genuine connections will come from the 7th house where Ketu is, which means your circle will eventually shrink. Or if you don't shrink it, you will be very miserable. So therefore, make connections at a deeper level with whom you feel more spiritually connected. Okay. And at the same time, you need to understand that don't suppress your innovative behavior, and that will do wonders for you. All right. So Aquarius Lagna, take care. Last but not the least, we go to Pisces. Pisces Lagna, what's going on? Now, for you, Rahu will be in the 12th and Ketu will be in your 6th house, right? Incredible placement. Or is it? Or maybe not. See, if you go by the classics or by traditional astrology, or rather YouTube astrology, this is not a good thing. But where is it bad? Where is it good? So see, what is the 12th house? The 12th house is the house of escapism. So when Ketu goes to the 12th, you escape to the reality. To the reality means you escape to the original reality, which is the spiritual realm. But when Rahu transits the 12th, you may escape from the reality and go to another double alternate reality. Now, what does this mean? Now, so we were spiritual once upon a time, but now we are not. So we are already out from reality, but now you go from this fake reality to another fake reality, which means, addictions, pornography, eating sugar, not nice. Okay. So if your dashas are indicating that you have some weakness at this moment, then it can mean that you are unable to control yourself. Basically, that could be the thing. Okay. But if that is happening, then you need to understand that you can channelize this properly. You don't have to feel like that's the end of life. So you can do spiritual travels. You can do Tirth Yatras, go to holy places. You can go to Char Dham. You can relocate to a foreign country, you can learn more things there depending on your dashas, you can work abroad, you could apply to jobs in foreign countries, and you may have a lot of powerful or vivid dreams. Okay, subconscious awakenings could be there. So you need to explore. This is interesting. You may want to explore, VR, virtual reality, and all this. Okay, or other metaphysics. Some secret topics could be very interesting for you, like what's going on, in Antarctica. There are some aliens they found. They say, there's alternate city outside the ice bars or whatever. They say like this, right? So what's there on the other side? Nobody knows. So maybe you can explore all this, okay? And at times you may feel like, you are losing out because you are not able to progress in that way that you desired. So then what do? You you understand that life is not just about, always running, right? Because now what is happening? Ketu will be in your sixth house. So Ketu will make you detached from all this, petty conflicts. And Ketu will tell you that it is not, see, Ketu will tell you to choose your battles wisely. Like, there is you have a big business and there is some competitor who is, exceeding you in some area of life. But then, okay, this person may exceed me in that area of life, but, but in the other areas, there's no chance. So I will still do good. So now you may lose the desire to compete unnecessarily. And the only area where you need to be careful is your health. Okay, so there could be health challenges that you face, and you may realize you need a different kind of awakening. So if things go out of control, Pisces Lagna, please get help, get counseling, get therapy, get astrological advice, or approach somebody who you trust. Okay, and don't just do nothing. Let go of unnecessary things, but also start doing things which are necessary. Okay, and now you may realize that you don't like routine. So it is not that you dislike routine, but you have to find a meaning behind your routines. All right, so do more spiritual practices and forget what is not important. All right, take care, Pisces, and thank you, everybody. Jai Siya.